think this is weird? My friends, we are just getting started. Lofi Poli Sci Season 6 kicking off. Michael Pickering here talking about our famous question. What's going on in the world today? Oh, yeah. And it's Independence Day, people. Or at least it is today and will be tomorrow. But also, was yesterday and is today? That's right, out in Pakistan on Sunday, August 14th. 75 years of independence. And out in India on Monday, August 15th, 75 years of independence. And if you're wondering, how did two neighboring countries have so close of date of independence? Well, you can blame colonization and the British Empire. More on that later. But 75 years of being a country. That's what's up. Happy birthday to you, both Pakistan and India. Here's to the next 75. And beyond. Now let's head out to the southeastern coast of India to Sri Lanka, where this summer a massive People's Power protest movement forced the president of the country to leave in exile, flew the coop, went to Singapore, resigned from office in Singapore, and now the government of Thailand is reporting former President Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka has landed in Thailand, though no official request for political asylum has been received. What does this all mean? Lots of question marks here. Former President Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka seems to be bouncing around from country to country until he can find a more permanent home. Because he's in exile. He left Sri Lanka because the people rose up against him. He sure as hell ain't going back home. This is a curious one to watch, people. An issue of international intrigue indeed. Where will Rajapaksa end up? Write in if you have some thoughts on that one. Now let's cruise across the world to Mexico, where the government has announced the president is sending the army, numbering over 1,000 troops. We're not sure exactly how many yet, but sending them to the surrounding areas in and around Tijuana, Mexico, to try and stabilize the situation. Because at the end of last week, especially going into this weekend, cartel drug wars erupted with an increase in the amount of violence going on. And for those who are new to the show, Lofi Poli Sci doesn't do body counts. One life lost is too many. You can search for it yourself and find out the extent of what's going down. But people, eyes open. Lots going down in Mexico, where rival cartels are going at it. And the army is now getting involved. We'll let you know more once we hear it. Now let's slide that globe on over again and travel across the Pacific, past Japan, past China, north of Pakistan. We're heading to Afghanistan, people. Today, August 15th, makes exactly 1 year ago that the Taliban took over the entire country of Afghanistan. 1 year, people. 365 days just zoomed by. I remember this happening. I remember watching this happen. I remember the Taliban saying that they are not the same group that ruled the country back in the 90s and early 2000s, and that women would be treated differently. And we knew it then, but we surely know it now. That was all bullshit. This weekend the Taliban forcibly broke up a female protest movement that were peacefully marching for women's rights in the countries because, since the Taliban have taken over, women cannot work in government. Women cannot travel more than 45 miles without a male companion. Women cannot go to school. Women cannot speak out for women's rights. 1 year out. And Taliban? They look a hell of a lot like that group that controlled the country in the 90s and early 2000s. Eyes open, Lo-Fi listeners. If this weekend showed anything, it's that there are still women in Afghanistan fighting for their freedom. Now let's head southwest of Afghanistan, past Saudi Arabia, going south of Ethiopia to Kenya. Last Tuesday, a week ago, on August 9th, the country had national elections at, as of right now, on Sunday afternoon. Just over half of those votes have been tallied and certified. The Electoral Commission has until Tuesday, August 16th, to finish certifying the vote. This is big, people, real big. This has taken a long time, and people on both sides, supporters of both presidential candidates, are getting pissed as hell that this has taken so long, and people are already throwing around the words and the phrases, election tampering. Ears to the ground. Lots going down in Kenya, and the clock is ticking. Tuesday will be here before you know it. And check us out tomorrow when we look at 100 global news stories from 10 different media corporations and looking at their international news sections to see what's what with what in global news coverage. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Pickering, signing off.